Okay, how's the lighting? Give me a minute while I mess with my tripod. Who am I talking to? There's nobody here yet. Oh, I know. So yeah, I started late. Like, you guys were just sitting on the edge of your seat waiting for me to start talking, right? I'll wait a couple minutes. I'm actually doing something right now, and hopefully I'll update you guys about it before this is over. Let me read my messages on my other phone. Oh, look, we got somebody. Welcome. Give me a minute. There's something going on with my group of friends that's kind of interesting, and hopefully it's going to be resolved well, and I'll let you guys know if it is. Two people. All right. Give it a couple more minutes. Let me see if I can give everybody a minute to know I'm here. I'm going to open up the other phone so I can take chat too. But that might be tricky because I'm also checking the update of what's going on here on my other phone. So I had an interesting time at the Slabs. Um, there's only one person. Well, I'm just going to start talking to you because you're the only one listening. Wait, update. It's just a thumbs up. I'm not at the Slabs right now. I left. I've been gone for almost a week. I went down to a hot spring. I got an invite from somebody really cool, and she was like, "You should come down here." And I was like, "Okay." So I came down here, uh, and I had a great time. And since I was already down this far, I figure I'll go a little further and get some shopping and stuff done. Will I go back to the Slabs? I really don't know yet. I'm thinking about just going straight to my next destination, but we'll see. I got one of my friend's trailers got stolen. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you at the Slabs. Yes. So if I look distracted, it's because they may have found it right now, and I'm hoping they did. I should have waited until there's a resolution, but that's what's going on. That's why I started this a little bit late, and that's why, and only one person's watching, but I thank you. I even have like a list of stuff to talk about here, and like I don't want to start until more people get here, but I got two thumbs up and one person, so that's all right. So I had a good time at the Slabs. I mean, mostly. Um, Last year I had a really good time. This year I had a pretty good time. I got out of there okay. My biggest dilemma is I smashed the screen on my phone, but I invited a bunch of people to go with me as like a group, and we did, and we went there as a group, and relationships fell apart. People got bit. Dogs bit people. Um, you guys probably heard some of that. I'm not gonna go. Hey, Jeremy. Um, yeah. Uh, People lost themselves. I got a little drunk a couple times. Got a little stupid. Not really bad, just a little stupid. I had fun at the rave though. That was awesome. And those of you who saw that video were lucky because I didn't leave it up long because they asked me to take it down. So the rave though, those of you who were there, you saw it. And that was an awesome thing. But it's just weird. Something about the Slabs this year, like everybody who went in my group anyway had something kind of bad happen to them. I feel like I got off lucky. Like the worst thing that happened to me was, yeah, somebody gave me this because I needed something to write in. I wouldn't buy something like this, but the thing is, I can't stop playing with it now. So yeah, the worst thing that happened to me was I got a little butthurt and my phone broke. So that's not too bad. But I led the group down there. I was the one that said, "Hey, let's all go together and let's go camp at my other friend's place." And yes, Mike. And if I hadn't told everybody to go camp together and camp together at his, and that was just one of the things that happened. Like so many bad things happened, and none of it was horrible, except my friend's trailer getting stolen, which just happened the last couple days, even after I left. Um, yeah, I'm shining this on my face now. So, Slab City. I think next year I'm going to go back to Spaceport by myself and just hang out with last year's group. Not anything wrong with this year's group of people. You're all great, but too much for me. Too much for me. And I'm really glad I came down south, went over to Holtville, stayed there for a few days, soaked in those amazing hot springs. I'll probably have a little video about that soon too. I'm going to have a kind of a really cool prize going on in the Facebook group that I admin, Boondocking and Free Camping USA on Facebook. We're going to give away if everything works out, a really nice cell phone signal booster here in the next few weeks. So if you're not a member of that group, go join. Is somebody pulling up next to me? That alarm is my security cameras going off. I got security cameras all the way around this thing. Upload to the cloud, all that. But I forgot to turn off notifications before I started this. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with my friend's trailer. If he gets it back before this is done, I'll let you guys know. I put a post out on the internet and with my Facebook group that I was just talking about and all of my network of friends in the nomad community. Within a couple hours, I'm pretty sure we know where it is. I probably shouldn't have said that yet, but yes, I want to go back to, thank you, Swamp Hick. I was supposed to have this phone on for comments. At the end of this month out in Duesenberg, there's another gold prospector group outing at the LDMA camp. And I really want to go there. I think I'm going to sell my dry washer to pay for it because this is going to be a busy month. I also want to go to the Fountain of Youth Hot Springs before I head back north. And the gold prospecting camp, it's like, I don't know, a couple $100 for like to go there and participate in everything or more. So I'm going to sell my dry washer. I have a Keen puffer dry washer that I don't use nearly enough. I paid $450 for it. I'll probably get like $350 or $4, and it'll sell fast, and it'll pay for my gold prospecting trip, unless there is one curveball that could be thrown at me that might make me have to avoid that. And I'm not going to say that, but if it happens, I'll let you guys know after it happens. I also have something else. There's a few really big things I want to tell you guys, but I just can't yet. What do you think about this coronavirus thing, right? I know everybody loves to freak out. What do they call it? Fear porn or something like that. Every year there's something to worry about, and there are people sick from the coronavirus. I mean, it's not, it's not a thing, but I just don't think it's as big a deal as people say. We've had like less than 100 cases here. They're closing down some of the hospitals in China that they built just for treating the coronavirus. They're like getting it under control. People that I know and work with in China are starting to go back to work. The shipping ports here only have like 25% of the stuff they normally do because it's been shut down a long time. There's like nothing coming over. But it looks like it's getting under control. It looks like it's getting back together. And it seems to me like it's just another, hey, Joe, how you doing? Your name's John, though, isn't it? I thought it was John, but your channel's Joe. Is that why I'm always confused? I'm glad you didn't come with Slab City, because everybody else who came has had a horrible time. There's some awesome people there. I do like Slab City, but this year is just not been meant to happen for me. Next year, the Boondocking Bash. I'm going to do it again. I'm not exactly sure where. I'm thinking maybe Dome Rock again. I'm kind of thinking about maybe holding it in some other places. I'll talk to people as we get closer to it. Wait, is this a message? Do I have an update? Something else I can't deal with right now. I'll deal with that later. So, the Boondocking Bash is going to happen again. I'm not really sure about my plans past the Gold Prospector outing. I'll probably do the Fishing Derby in Lake Isabella again. I have a lineup on another motorhome that's like hopefully within my price range. It's going to need some work, not mechanically. Mechanically it's sound, but it's going to need... I'll let you know if I get it. It's bigger and I like it. So I got to get back to Lake Isabella to check it out first, though. I might do something this summer like some sort of a boondocking bash mini. Hey Eric, sorry I forgot to call you again. Eric the Goat Guy, go check his channel out. And Wandering Wild Man, that's Jeremy. You guys should go check his channel out too. He was in Mike's most recent video. Totally forgot what I was saying. That's why I have a cheat sheet. Thank you for subbing, former pocket pool champion of the world. That is quite an accomplishment. I don't know when I'm going to do these live streams, but I will give you guys advance notice in the future. I want to do them once a week or once every 2 weeks. I've been making videos for so long that I've kind of gotten bored with the regular video format. I kind of like this, and as long as I give myself a cheat sheet, things to talk about, yes, my horrible handwriting, then I can ramble on for hopefully at least 30 minutes or an hour each time. It also depends on how many of you are here and how many of you have questions. I like to answer questions, so feel free to ask. I can't answer all of them, but so if you're not already a member of my Facebook group, Boondocking and Free Camping USA, go request to join or just keep watching here. And when I do something this summer, I'll let you know. I've already got an epic place picked out that I think a lot of you would be willing to come to. Cool temperatures, great scenery, awesome fishing, lots of hot springs, a million things to see, and you can camp for 21 days at a time per district. Can you buy my RV if I get a new one? Yeah, I'll let you know, because I'd like it to go to somebody who would appreciate it. It needs a little work. That's what I gotta fix the headers when I get home. My headers blew a hole in the side like that big where they come out of the engine and the pipes curve down. There's like a huge hole right here, and the hole's like that big around. And I've patched it with exhaust wrap, but it's not right. It's just headers. I could change them in like an hour or less if I, had the right ones shipped here. But I don't want to take it apart anymore and then order them, and they have to fit. They have to, they reach down along the engine and down to the exhaust, so they got to clear everything. There's got to be the right shape, the right design for the headers to work. And I don't want to get the wrong ones and be stuck for days waiting, so I'm just going to fix it when I get home or sell this and let the next person deal with it, or maybe fix it and sell it. I don't know. Here's another message. You guys might know, if you were at any of the events, we had this thing called Super Secret Bacon Club. It started at the van build. We carried it through the boondocking bash and my New Year's Eve. No update yet. The party are, and late at night when we're all drunk and there's enough people left that there's enough bacon for everybody, we would cook bacon and call it Super Secret Bacon Club. So when I started this caravan to the Slabs, I called the group the Bacon Camp, or the Bacon Club Camp. And I had a messenger group on Facebook where people could talk. And my friend just said I should change the name of the group from Bacon Chat to Super Secret Bacon Chat to Super Secret Drama Chat or something like that, because we've had so much fucking drama. It's bad. That's one of the reasons I had to leave for a while. I had to get over here. I just couldn't. Okay, every time I get a notification, I think it's an update on the trailer, and it's not. I'm going to try to keep talking until I get an update, but I'm already running through my list here. So yeah, Holtville was a cool place. It was a nice little hot spring, not far from a big town. They have LTVA camping. You could stay within walking distance of the hot springs for like $190 a season, I think, which is like October through April or something like that, or $40 for 2 weeks, which is what I did. Even though I didn't stay the whole 2 weeks, it was still worth the $40 just to have a nice, safe place to stay. And yeah, he was here, but he had to leave. The mosquitoes got bad when it was warm, but at the hot springs, there's like the source water comes out and it's diverted into the pool. But the excess is shot up into another pipe, which makes like a long sprinkler that shoots out. And you can just stand there under the sprinkler with the fresh water that nobody's soaked in yet, straight from the ground. And yeah, Eric, I needed to talk to you about the LA event. I think we might have to cancel it because I've got a bunch of other crazy stuff going on. And sorry, I know it was a good idea. Me and Eric, the goat guy, we were going to go camp out in front of YouTube headquarters. He's done it already. And we were going to get a few other people to go too. But like time has gone by so quick, and he's had problems and I've had problems, and temperatures are okay down in LA year round. This is the YouTube headquarters in LA. Maybe I'll do it right when I get right. Okay, how about this, Eric? Assuming we're still in the same area. He like this other guy, the former pocket likes to wake up. I missed it. To the smell of bacon in the morning. I'm talking and reading comments at the same time, and it's getting a little tricky. So hold on. Let me open my other phone. Maybe the first one of us to reach 10,000 when we can get that studio there. If you get 10,000 subs, they'll like let you like use a studio there. Maybe we'll do that as like a celebration. The first one of us to get to 10,000. Maybe. I don't know. If you're around. I feel bad though, like so much crap has happened, and I was really, really psyched on doing that. Let me go open my look at that's me. Let me go open my oh no, I just broke the internet. Let me go open. Turn off the volume so we don't get feedback here. Okay, the former pocket pool champion of the world likes to wake up to the smell of bacon so he can place the bacon in your George Foreman grill, set your alarm, and then hit the... That is a great idea. If I lived in a regular house, I might do that. He did kind of give people some time. He even paid to advertise the event on Facebook. That's why I really feel bad. But I don't know, it's like things happen when you're out traveling, and so I'm glad I came here though. I'm glad I got the hell out of the slabs. I do wish I'd have stayed there. My friend's trailer would probably still be there. I mean, it's not my fault, but it kind of is, a little bit. Everybody's going to be like, no, Jimmy, it's not your fault. No, when you take a leadership position in anything, you're kind of responsible for everything. But I did quit. I did quit that before I left. So a little bit. But I think I'm also responsible for getting it back. Hopefully, we'll find out soon. That's one of the nice things about social media, especially when you know a lot of people. You can get a lot of people. I just saw, wait, what happened? I don't know. Okay, sorry. Let me see what... I thought somebody said something with Super Chat, but no, I guess not. For some reason, I saw a green sign on my other phone, which is like where I'm reading the comments. Maybe I was trying to give myself a Super Chat by mistake, touching the screen. That wouldn't make a lot of sense. They keep something like 30% or something. Wait, another update. Confirmed, the trailer has been found. So yes, social media works. I went on my big Facebook group with 100,000 members this morning, and I reached out to my group of friends throughout Slab City where it went missing and everywhere else. And within a couple hours, it's been found. So thank all of you who helped make that happen. That is really good news. Those of you who know Kevin, it was Kevin's trailer. So it's been found, for sure, confirmed. I don't know if it's back in his possession, but that's good enough for me. Let me see if there's anything else here on my thing. Ooh, I did have something. These are things that we don't talk about in my group. And people usually like to talk about them. Well, people usually like to argue about them. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on them, and if you want to argue with me, you can. I'm open to being wrong, because sometimes I'm wrong. Not very often, but sometimes. So, well, call me. We're going to discuss either Walmarts, truck stops, or different brands of generators. And the first person to comment and pick one of those three. I'm on a live stream. Did you find it? Wait, hold on. Let me put you on speaker. Okay, what?
All right. I said, let me be the first to say, fucking thank you. Oh, sorry. You were...
That's okay. I cuss all the time
the
anyway.
cops are calling me now, but it was the trailer.
Awesome.
Found it for me. Thank you. I'll call you back.
I'm so fucking glad. All right, cool. Later. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, I said the first person to pick one of those topics, I'll tell you my thoughts on it. Walmarts, truck stops, or different brands of generators. Come on, somebody. There's 18 of you watching. Get me going. Which one? Walmarts, truck stops, or different brands of generators? Truck stops. Okay. Here's the thing with truck stops. I get this all the time in my group, and boy, people fight a lot. And if you don't agree with me, that's okay. Most truck stops, all the time, people are like, the truck stops are for truckers. Don't use the truck stops. And when you first think about that, you're like, these guys are working. They have to go a lot of places. But here's the thing. The big truck stops, Pilot, TA, Loves, they're not truck stops anymore. If you look right there on their sign, they call themselves travel centers. And they did this because they want the business from everybody. Most of them on their websites, they'll say, we welcome RVers to stay the night. Sometimes they will have RV specific parking, and if they do, you really need to do that. I know, I'm happy for Kevin too. A lot of the smaller truck stops do call themselves truck stops, and they will cater more to trucks and tell RVs, no, go to Pilot, go to TA, go to the travel center. A lot of people get mad because there's simply not enough parking out there for all of us, but we're all trying to use the road together. Everybody wants to go to the travel centers because they have the most amenities, but they wouldn't have that many amenities if they didn't have that many people to purchase said amenities. So that's why TA and Pilot and all of the big truck stops have changed their names to travel centers. Now, you can do things to be a little more polite if you do have to go to a truck stop, like find somebody that's got just the truck and not the trailer and be like, hey, do you guys mind if we share a space, especially if it's open on both ends? Just get out and ask them if you see one parked there. I mean, try to be sensible. And if you don't have to take the big truck spaces, don't. But if you do, I say it's okay. You told them Jimmy said so. That's my thing. And you wouldn't believe how many long, drawn-out arguments we've had over truck stops in my Facebook group. Some people swear that you should, and others swear that you shouldn't. And it's just like anything else. Just be respectful. Do what you got to go. Leave when you got to leave. Don't stay there too long. Don't trash the place. Don't pour your piss jug out right in the middle of the parking lot. Truckers and RVers, don't pour your piss jug out in the middle of the RV parking lot. My cat is bumping the tripod. I think she's going to knock it over. Is there an unsaid bartering system? Yeah, it's called weed. No, not really an unsaid bartering system, but yeah, we'll trade things, especially things that we need. Like when you live in a motorhome, you quickly get more stuff than you can carry. This is Anna. I'm mostly just holding her so she doesn't knock over my tripod. She keeps trying to jump back and down. Well, you know cats. If there's something to mess up, they're going to try to mess it up. So yeah, there's not really a specific unsaid bartering system, but at most of these events, we've had free piles, and I've gotten some really cool things from the free piles, and I've gotten rid of some things that I thought were pretty cool, but I couldn't use them in the same free piles. When you live in an RV, you don't have a lot of room, and you don't have room to be carrying stuff that you don't need. And we use Facebook groups and different things like that to barter sometimes. I'm so glad that the truck was found. I'm just like, thank you. Yeah, she's a nice cat. I have a few cats. She's the most friendly of them. Every morning when I wake up, she comes over and rubs on me and dances and meows, and she's a good cat. So yeah, I think for at least the next month or so, I'm going to kind of do my usual thing, go back to the gold prospecting camp. I have some new friends that I think joined the club because of the seminars I did over the season. And hopefully I'll see them there. If not, I know I'll see my old friends there. Ann is trying to eat the cord of my message phone now, so. Yeah, he also had stuff in the trailer, and I hope he gets it back too, but I have a feeling that it might be too late for that. Trying to get my comments to load again. So, I know, I see I'm losing viewers. I'm getting boring. I will wrap this up pretty soon. Any questions? If you guys have any questions, now's the time to ask them. That's the best way for a live stream to work, is with interaction. I thank those of you who did show up either way, whether you had anything to say or not. Show more. It hid part of your comment, Pocket Pool Champion. That was weird. And then when I clicked it, it just disappeared. I don't know. Apparently the censor bot got you. Yeah, I got a ton of videos that I got to edit out soon. It's kind of boring to do the same thing I've been doing on YouTube for years, editing. And that's why I want to do more live streams. I know I got to keep it more interesting, but this is the first of these scheduled live streams that I'm going to do. And from now on, I'll make myself a little cheat sheet. You were just in Kernville and went out on a cycle tour of Bakersfield. You should have cycled toward the upper Kern. Bakersfield's cool. They got that nice bike path, but the air down there. Okay, it's winter. Was it all right? It was probably not too bad. Just be glad you didn't do it in summer. It is a nice bike path down there. But, and it is dangerous going on the upper river. But if I was going to bike, I would probably like bike all the way up to like Johnsondale, or even, I mean, assuming I had the knees to do that. I ride an e-bike now because I got a bad knee, but if I could just like go out on a long bike ride and like do it like that, I'd probably go all the way up to the giant sequoias, go upriver from Lake Isabella, Kernville, Johnsondale. I think it's like 30, 40 miles, mostly uphill, but then it's mostly downhill on the way back. But it would be a little dangerous too, because most of it's 2-lane road, and I see other people doing it. But speak on aliens. Shit. That's the one that you got me on. I could tell you about Bigfoot or Ghost, but I've never had an alien encounter. Best solution for the noise that the truck stops produce? Well, for me, the noise helps. It's white noise. Although there are sometimes distracting noises that'll come through too. What I do is I bought one of these fans at a truck stop. It's the Tornado fan, and it has like a dial so you can set it to different speeds. This little fan, truck drivers don't want RVers parking in the back lot blocking the noise. Isn't possible. Yeah, well, like I said, I sleep well with the noise. But I got this Tornado fan at a truck stop, which can almost blow my hat off my head. Not quite, but it's a pretty powerful fan. And it's got just enough noise. And even when it's not cold, I'll sleep with this thing on. Or my roof vent fan. Either of those is a white noise, and as long as it keeps going, I'm not really distracted by the other, like the bangs and the brakes and the compressors and all the other stuff. Doesn't usually bother me. I don't know what Anna's doing down here. She's down here like nibbling on my arm or something. Cheap earplugs. Yeah, I can't wear earplugs, but I know a lot of people who do, and they swear by them. Yeah. A lot of truck stops have gotten smart, and they've started making part of the parking lot specifically for RVs. And I think that's kind of a cool idea. Boy, she's really, really up my... How about you go on this side and stuff? I don't know why she's like really obsessed with this arm today. Yeah, so I usually sleep good though, as long as like if I'm next to a truck that's idling, I'll sleep great. I don't know how I started doing that, but I learned a long time ago. If I keep a fan going, even in the middle of winter, if it's just enough noise, and it helps with, I got dogs, so if something really crazy goes on, those dogs are going to get up and jump and step all over me, and that little bit of white noise really helps to, I don't know, keep me distracted from the other outside noises. I'm still waiting for the message that says they actually have the truck back in, or the trailer back in their possession. But they've basically got it. They found it. It was there. I love it when things work out like that. I mean, none of this ever should have happened. It shouldn't have had to come to this, but I'm also play rain recording. Yes. Shrooms. Yes. They're legal in some places now, or at least decriminalized. And I'm going to do some traveling. Oh, shrooms to help sleep, you mean? Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. So, yeah, you want to hear my ghost stories or my Bigfoot stories? I don't have any aliens. What do you guys think about Starlink? Have you heard about Starlink, the new internet that's coming? It's going to change everything. Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, they're launching 60,000 satellites into orbit. Most of them are already there. Oh, shrooms just to live, yeah. And when these satellites are in place, the astronomers are already upset because it's already messing up their view of the sky. But when these satellites are in place, you're going to be able to have internet, like the fastest internet anywhere. Anywhere you go. You can be way the hell back in the mountains, these campgrounds that nobody uses anymore because there's no cell signal. You can go there now and still have cell signal. And it's not just about being addicted to the internet like I am. Like, excuse me, back at the van build, we had a medical emergency with one of our tribe members. Luckily, we were in a town where we were able to, tea, ganja tea. We were in a, actually, the best way to do it is a little infused honey, marijuana infused honey in your tea. That's how you do that. I'm getting too many comments. Yeah, a TV going in the background. Some people can do that. Or even radio or talk radio, AM radio is a great way to fall asleep. Just that monotonous talking, you know. So once this thing's up, it's going to be like $60 a month for unlimited internet anywhere. Fast internet. I'll be able to go anywhere, stay connected, talk to anyone, get help if I need an emergency, report a wildfire if I see a wildfire. There are places right now back in the forest where you can go and it's 2 or 3 hours drive from anywhere. And if a fire pops out, you got to drive 2 or 3 hours to report it because they won't let them put cell towers out there. So by the time you get there and you report the fire, it's raging out of control. Now it's a huge fire. And with this new SpaceX, it's going to not only make the internet more convenient for everybody, but it's going to make everything more safe. You'll be able to get emergency response. You can do calls over Wi-Fi already. So you'll easily be able to make calls over this new SpaceX internet. It's going to be like $80 a month at first, maybe less. I'm already talking to them. I'm trying to get them to let me test it out for them, and we'll see. They said they were interested, and I sent them links, and they're like, yeah, who's this guy? No. Maybe they're just busy. Maybe. We'll see. I'm going to bug them. I'm going to bug the heck out of them until they give me SpaceX internet to test out. It's going to be deployed in North America real soon, this year, coming up really soon. Yeah, you're stationary or former pocket pool champion. You said you have good internet, so I'm assuming you're like in a home. But this is going to be anywhere, like anywhere. You can have no cell towers nearby, and you'll be able to just like stream, never buffer. Like $80 a month is a lot, but if you knew what I was paying for my AT&T service, and it's good. I use about 600 gigabytes a month on AT&T, so. But I have to stay near a cell tower. That's one of the big problems in the last like 20 years. People used to just go camping. Just go camping. Now suddenly, people go camping and they want to have their cell phone. At first it was just the phone, but now it's the internet too. And it's getting, with smartphones, it got even worse. And so you have, say, 1,000 campgrounds in a state like California. There's probably way more than that, but let's just say there's 1,000 campgrounds. 500 of them don't have signal. So now the 500 that do are getting all the traffic. Everybody's cramming into these campgrounds because they all want to be on their phones all day. And I get it. I do too. But it's become a problem. And all these other campgrounds go mostly empty, except for a few people who just want to disconnect or just don't use it anyway. Now that it's going to be available everywhere, I mean, people are still going to have to pay for it, but this is the first step in this technology. You give it 2 or 3 years, it's probably going to be $30 a month. Unlimited data. And they say it's going to be the fastest. If I start talking, if I change my subject real quick, I'm replying to somebody's message. And he said, what about data? And that's what it is. It actually is data. It's not really cell service. It's data. But you can make calls over Wi-Fi if you have fast enough data. It's supposed to be super low latency. It's supposed to be faster than fiber optics. I've been reading a little bit about it. I don't know if I fully understand it, but they are low Earth orbit satellites, and there's going to be 60,000 of them up there. They're such a low orbit that they're not going to really interfere with the other satellites, and they'll have a lifespan. Eventually, they'll fall in and burn up, and they'll send some new ones up. And they're just little things. They're kind of like repeaters, basically, is the best way I can explain it. But they're more than that. But in the most basic sense, they're kind of like repeaters. And they showed how with fiber optics, you got to actually go along the line. But with these, you're able to bounce from one to the other. And so you can send that signal across the ocean at like a tenth of the speed that it used to take. Yeah, it sounds really cool. I can't even keep up with it. I try to say I'm a tech guy. I'm not like really a tech guy. I just like to use all the new tech, and I usually understand it fast. I'm not the kind of guy that's going to sit there and fix it for you. Anna? Usually she only bugs me like this in the morning, but of course I'm talking, so she probably thinks I'm talking to her. So I've gone for almost 30 minutes. Let me see if there are any more questions. I don't know what else to say. I guess I could still talk about one of my ghost stories or Bigfoot stories, but nobody seems interested in that. I don't know what I'm going to do with these future live chats. I want to do this more often. Next time, I'll write down more things to talk about. This was just, look at the new people. Did you see my... I would never buy something like this, but somebody bought it for me, and I just play with it endlessly. I know, I'm cheesy. Anna. So yeah, I might try to do these on the weekends from now on. I might try to schedule them a little later, a little earlier. I usually wouldn't want to go for this time of day because right before dark, I usually get a little tired. I'm like good in the afternoon, good later in the evening, but I want everybody to have a chance to watch. A bridge connection, that's better, but not sure nomadically speaking. You'll still have to be, line of sight to the sky, I'm assuming. You won't be able to get under too much tree cover. That'll probably mess it up. They say the equipment is supposed to be really cheap and not even like a traditional satellite where you needed, I have satellite TV on here, which isn't on right now. I canceled it because I had other things I needed to buy, and I've been so busy living in the real world, I haven't watched much TV the last few months. But it's pay as you go, so if I get back out where I'm by myself for a while and I need something to entertain me, I'll just turn it back on. But it needs a special fancy dish that self-tunes, and they say this new Starlink internet is going to be like a little tiny thing that you can set on top of your car, and it's hardly noticeable. You can put it on your RV, and eventually they're going to build it into your phone. So before you know it, probably AT&T and all the other carriers, Verizon, everybody else, they're probably going to try to buy rights to use this same technology. And eventually they might not even need cell towers. It may just all be linked through satellites. It's crazy how fast technology is advancing. I remember when I was a kid, my grandparents, they lived in a motorhome and they traveled around. And they took me with them one summer. They would go down to Mexico and they would buy things, and then they would bring them back to America, sell them on different street corners. They'd go to a liquor store and say, hey, or a hardware store or something, or a furniture store, and say, hey, can we rent a space on the corner of your lot and sell our stuff here for a week? And they would usually rent it to them fairly cheap because they knew that having something out there for sale in the parking lot would bring in more business for both of them. And then they changed the laws where you had to have a different seller's permit everywhere you went, so they couldn't do it forever. But they eventually turned it into a huge business back home, and they did really, really well for years, selling, leasing, and renting plants and going in and taking care of them in doctors' offices and restaurants and parties and weddings and funerals and all kinds of stuff. So they came and they got me one summer, and I went with them, and it was great. But I remember, back then, the bulb, just your light bulb in your RV, incandescent, it would not burn down, well, sometimes they'd burn down. It would drain down your battery within an hour and a half. You could run your lights for an hour and a half at night, and then you had to start the generator or start the engine. If you had a TV in your RV back then, back in my day, it was black and white, and you had a coat hanger in the back, and you were lucky if you got one TV channel. If you had an emergency back then when you were boondocking, you had to go find a payphone. Maybe if you had a CB, you could get some help with a CB radio. But things were really, really different back in the day. It's crazy. There was no solar panels. I can sit here and make all my solar all day, be connected to anything I want with a little device like this. I know I sound like an old person, right? Yeah, yeah. VHF and UHF. I remember. Remember that movie UHF with Weird Al Yankovic? It was like a parody movie. It was kind of funny. Wheel of Fish. You've won the red snapper. No, nobody remembers that. Was it called UHF? Yeah, it was just called UHF, I think. So yeah, it's amazing the stuff we have today. E-bikes. They don't build them the same way they used to. That's for sure. Trailers today, RVs today, are built really thin and light, and they're really worried about. Hey, Tile, how you doing? Did you hear the good news? Well, did you hear the bad news first about Kevin's trailer? But the good news is he got it back. They have located it. So, thanks for stopping in on the video. So yeah, it's amazing the difference in today's RV world compared to like back when I did that with my grandparents. Somebody's thinking of something orange. Yeah, 28 cents a gallon. I remember when I first started driving, it was just under $1 a gallon. Something orange. Oh, is that from the movie? Is that a quote from the movie UHF? Yeah, I give up. I'll see what he says in a minute. It's an orange. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie. I'm sure that's a quote, but I'm not getting it. Probably when I'm done with this video, I'll be like, oh, that's right. Hey, Curtis, how you doing? Yeah, so like I said, back then, you had to go find a payphone if you had an emergency. You didn't have solar. You had to run everything. But it was kind of nicer, too, in a way. I remember, you were more in touch with the world when you had less technology, that's for sure. But we are lucky today. A lot of people who are doing this today wouldn't have been able to do it back then without the kind of comforts that we can bring because of technology. And so I think this SpaceX thing it'll have an upside down and a downside, but I think it's really going to help a lot of things with the overcrowding situation in many of these campgrounds. I swear it's because everybody wants to have internet, and only half the campgrounds have internet. So now that they can have internet anywhere, it should spread out the load. I got a new message. I don't know what it says. Let me see. Yeah, so just more messages about the other thing. I'm not going home just yet, but I'll probably be back within the next month, and I got some stuff lined up when I get there to show you guys. I guess I'm going to go ahead and end this. How about next Sunday for the next live stream? We'll do it about the same time on Sunday, about 3, 4 o'clock. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. I'll make another short video to tell everybody, and I will have more things to say, so I stop sitting here going, Thanks. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for the likes. I'll see you guys next week. And I have some other stuff edited, too, and maybe some really big things coming up, but I don't want to spoil them. I'll tell you about them when they happen. We'll save that for next week's video. Thanks again, guys.